Hello, lovely. Welcome back to A Coffee with Cass. Today I am drinking a dirty chai, mixture of coffee and chai. Now, today's Coffee with Cass will just be a bit of a update and Q&A, as some of you sent in some questions for me. So sit back, relax. So I have most of the questions on my phone, but how is life? I hope everything is going well for each and every one of you. Reaching for my coffee on my desk. But I hope the new year is treating you fantastic. I can't really complain about my 2024 so far. I mean, realistically, hasn't been too bad. A few ups and downs here and there, as life does, but for the most part it's been okay. I have been having a bit of trouble health-wise with some skin flare-ups, which have been quite painful for me, and dealing with that and scheduling things around that. When it's super sensitive on my legs, it can be kind of hard to walk because it's very painful. But hopefully we'll be turning the corner here in a bit. And not quite as uncomfortable with the mixtures of products and oatmeal baths and whatnot for myself. But could be a winter thing. Could just be a random thing that happens when I get my flare-ups. So other than that, haven't been too bad health-wise. My mom is still having some medical things occurring, so if you could send some positive thoughts and vibes to her, that would be very greatly appreciated, as we are very much in a limbo state of waiting for tests to be done and waiting for appointments and dealing with the medical system that is in this country. So, yeah. In April, it will be a year that she has been in severe pain. So it's not good. It's very not good. So that's been taking up a lot of our time. I have been, as usual, focusing on positive and other things to disrupt any drama that tries so desperately to infiltrate my life. If you've followed a bit of recent updates and Coffee with Cass, there's been people in my life that I've pretty much been cutting off and kicking to the curb, if you will, and there's been a bit of backlash from that, which is not good. But I've said it many times, but I don't know why we have to entertain people in our lives that treat us so poorly. And it was getting to the point where when I would get these bad phone calls, I would get this intense panic attack, like this heat flaring in my chest. And I don't think that's healthy, and I think it's ridiculous to have to live like that, so. But, yeah. I will always be progressing and see what other drama comes my way, but hopefully I've done more steps forward that will leave it a little less drama-filled, you would think, but some people live in the drama. It's where they thrive. But I am very lucky to have loved ones in my life that are very nice to me. So it's not everyone. That would be very tragic if it was. But I have lovely loved ones that are not toxic. So. All part of the journey of cutting ties, I suppose. I'm sure I am being called every name in the book, but I like to think that I'm a good person, so we're going to focus on that and not the criticisms from unfortunate people. I hope you do the same. More positive of the distracting my mind in positive ways. Some of my goals this year for 2024 was to watch more things, read more, and to cosplay more. These are things that I love, and I've neglected reading for many years. I used to really love reading, and I just neglected it. And besides the occasional fan fiction, I just wasn't reading anymore. But this year, I really want to. My goal is to finish one book a month, which might be a little for you bookworms. I see some of you with like hundreds of books that you read every year, and that's fantastic. But my goal is one book a month, and I'm actually ahead of schedule right now. I have completed 3 books as of this point, and I am on my 4th book, so I am ahead of schedule for the year. I am writing little thoughts about each book, and at the end of the year I might do a video dedicated to the books that I read this year, which I thought might be interesting. To go along with that, I really wanted to watch new things. I have a habit of rewatching my favorites, you know, comfort shows. And so this year I really wanted to dedicate time to watching new shows and new movies. And I'm so glad that I have, because I've watched some fantastic films this year so far. And in January, I believe it was, I did like a what I've been watching video. And I'll be doing that again. I'm jotting down little notes, little reviews. I love talking about movies, so in the future you'll see another video of that. Doing little spoiler-free reviews for like a movie suggestion, show suggestion for you guys, but I do really enjoy talking about films, so it's kind of fun to watch all of these new things that maybe have been on my watch list for many years. And I look forward to chatting with you guys about them. Cosplay-wise, I've been a bit ahead of the game, as been quite inspired to film and record, shoot some of my cosplays, so I'm ahead of the game, if you will, which works out in my favor. I'm currently working on Roleplay month for April, next month, and right now I have all of my cosplays filmed and done for this whole month. So, and actually a little extra too. So, I've been ahead of the game, and it's been positive work because cosplaying is quite a positive experience for me. It's very fun, a great escape from that drama. So I would say the mixture of these lovely movies I've been watching, the books I'm reading, and the cosplay has been overruling the drama, that pesky drama that tries so desperately to sneak into my life. But all good things, of course. So besides that, I don't really think there is anything new in my life. Just trucking along, if you will. It does seem to feel more and more like spring, which will be nice. Go outside a little bit more, outdoor shoots. I'd like to hike more. So, yeah, I'd like to say goodbye to winter. The ice storm this year did it for me. I hate the ice storms that we get, and I'm very over winter. So, bring on the pretty flowers, and the rain I don't mind. Rain is quite soothing to my little brain, so, but yes. Other than that, that's pretty much it for a general update, but I will go ahead and move on to your lovely questions that some of you sent in for this Coffee with Cats. Okay, so Sarah sent in, what is a weird habit that you have? I thought about this, and I think a weird habit that I have is I always think or feel like I need to be multitasking on something. If I'm watching movies, it is usually at my computer while I multitask and get work done. It's probably why I do occasionally like to watch comfort shows, because I know them by heart, so I don't have to pay quite the full attention, but I do feel like I should be working on something when I'm watching a movie or something, or in general. Same thing with when I've been listening to audiobooks or reading books. I've needed to tell myself that it is okay to take a little bit of chill time. I don't have to be constantly working on something, but it is a really weird habit that I have. And I think I've always kind of been like that. Not wanting to be bored or wanting to be ahead on work, and so needing to have that constant working cycle, if you will. Then we have Kitty Friend. Hi Cass, I love all your makeup looks. What's your favorite type of makeup? Eyes, lipstick? How do you prep your skin before you apply makeup? You have great complexion, and as a fellow eczema girl, I need to know what magic you work. Thank you. It's not always like that. Favorite makeup wise, I do probably tend to like the eyeshadow best, although I do love fun lip colors as well. Kind of doing a pink vibe today, but you can't really see it in this more soothing lighting. But I think I do like fun eyeshadows. As for skin prep, yes, my skin is very temperamental, and I'm always trying new things, and one of my friends suggested a new product that I need to try as well for eczema prone skin, and depends on the day. So if it's a basic day and my skin is okay, I'll kind of pop in some products. I use a primer, hydrating primer, and I use some hydrating sprays, lots of lotion and hydration, some Aveeno lotions and things like that, to really prep my skin before I put any makeup on it, because if not, it will get crusty and gross and attack those problem areas. So all about the prep of some of those very hydrating products. If it's a worse day, I may do an oatmeal mask or a hydrating mask, things like that, just as an extra layer of hydration and prep for my skin before I put makeup on it. So it kind of depends on the day. Sometimes my skin looks okay, and other times it is quite questionable. The flare-ups along my neck or across my face. I actually have a flare-up happening under my eyes right now. So it's, yeah, it's a thing. But I definitely just, all of the hydrating products I try to use and giving my skin some time to breathe. I don't wear makeup every day. I think that's a big thing too. If you're able to not wear makeup every single day, gives it a little bit of a, little bit of a break. Andy, what is your favorite thing about having an ASMR channel? I think it's always going to be that my crazy creative ideas can help you guys relax. Can help people in different ways. I think is pretty awesome. I always go back, and I kind of have two examples now. Early on in my YouTube career, I received this lovely email from this guy, and I wish him well. I hope he's doing well out there wherever he is. He was a veteran and was really struggling with sleep for some obvious reasons, and my channel helped him to get some rest for the first time in a long time, and that was extremely heartfelt, and I always think about that email. These days I always get sweet comments about helping people to sleep or relax their anxiety, and more recently I've had a couple women tell me that they're including my videos in their labor playlist, which is quite an honor. I hope my videos can help you to calm down during your labor, pre-delivery, post-delivery. I hope it soothed the experience in such a positive way. I just think that's very nice and is quite a compliment if you ask me, so yeah. Anxious Raccoon, what was your first exposure to ASMR, and what is your favorite type of ASMR to create or review? So my first exposure to like what we would now consider ASMR was my mom helping me to sleep at night, you know, kind of soothing me and helping me to imagine like waterfalls or ocean waves and just like kind of talking me to sleep. And then YouTube wise was very much the whisper community, where people just whisper books and random conversations. And we all had those unintentional ASMR videos that we didn't know why they relaxed us, but they did. I had a couple contour and highlight makeup videos that were oh so relaxing, and Lita, the massage therapist, was a great example of early ASMR before we really knew that it was ASMR. Yeah, and I'm sure there was sometimes in school with like explaining math problems or something like that. And then the type that I like to create and watch, I do enjoy roleplays. And I know you guys do as well. I also do just enjoy these chat videos. They're not as popular, but that's okay. I do just enjoy simple chats with you lovelies. Watching wise, these days I'm really into the real person ASMR videos. They're so incredibly relaxing. Like Chili Bee, Siesta with Sarah, you know, some of those like real person roleplay scenario videos that they do. Chef's kiss. So incredible. Lynn, how do you cope with life's difficulties lately? I kind of mentioned, but I'm really trying to allow myself that chill time and to relax. My go-to method is, of course, distract the mind. Work on something, film something, cosplay something, read something, watch something, but mixing in there, allowing myself to relax. Relax, read a book, just drink my coffee in the morning without stressing and struggling. And it doesn't always work, of course. There's a lot of stress around our lives in the world that we live in, unfortunately. But I think it's very good and very healthy for you to dedicate that time where you're allowed to just like step away and relax for a bit. So you're not always focused on those difficulties that you might be facing. Rebecca wrote, "Are there any compliments that you don't care for?" Yeah. There's of course like the overly perverted ones. Grow up. But I don't like compliments that have to put other people down. It gives me the ick. Makes me feel weird, like, oh my gosh, you are so much prettier than so and so. That's a weird compliment. Like, don't put somebody else down to compliment me. I've got this in cosplay and ASMR videos with different things or different people. And there's been some in cosplay lately where like, you are so much prettier than this actress or whatever. And I realize like, they're an actress, they don't care. But I still find it to be a weird comment. Like, I don't know, I feel like you're calling that person ugly who is by far not ugly. It's just a weird compliment when like you have to put somebody else down to compliment someone, so I don't really care for those. Jeff, if you got stranded on a desert island, what's one album you would listen to? So I feel like one of the Star Wars albums would be ideal, because then I could rock with some John Williams on my little deserted island. And they're long songs too, and some of them are relaxing so they could help me sleep through my panic attacks of being on a deserted island. I could really go for the Twilight soundtrack though too, because I love the Twilight soundtrack. It slaps still. I love all of that music. Misty, what is your stance on the toxicity that unfortunately plagues the Star Wars fandom? It is very unfortunate, but it has kind of always been around there. A perfect example is Jake Lloyd. The way that the Star Wars fans attacked Jake Lloyd, young Anakin, was absolutely ridiculous. Good news, Jake Lloyd seems to be doing good in treatments for his mental health, so let's all send him positive vibes. But there's always been that toxic fandom, right? Who goes after a child? Very weird. It's grown lots with the internet and reviews, and it's very unfortunate. I think you have to find little sectors that you fit in. Like a lot of the cosplay accounts that I follow are very positive Star Wars accounts, you know? Or like reviewers and things. Not to say you can't like dislike something. Of course you can, but there's a way to dislike something without completely trashing everything. I think a lot of people do it for views, and it's usually a great way to get me to unsubscribe when you just have to trash everything just because. So it is definitely grown as time goes on, but we all just have to like show some positivity. There was that one woman who I honestly don't even know who she was, but her quote went viral about how we don't need more women in Star Wars. It's not for women. And to turn that and make it more positive, all of us women that love Star Wars like used that audio and showed our cosplays or growing up with Star Wars or our love for the fandom, and kind of made it this really cool trend, seeing all of these amazing women that do love Star Wars. So turn it to positive when we can, and just kind of try to ignore the people that they don't have anything nice to say, do they? Douglas, would you ever compete in a cosplay competition at a con? So I don't know, because my understanding is a lot of the competitions for the cosplay at cons, you have to like make everything from scratch, and that's not really me. I make some things, I thrift some things, I purchase some things, I put things together. You know, I do a nice little eclectic mix of how I create my cosplays. So if that is the case and you really have to make everything from scratch, like I wouldn't qualify. I'm not sewing everything from hand. Like I said, I do a mix of purchasing, creating, sewing, thrifting, putting all these things together. So if there's like categories or something like that, maybe I would, but most of the competitions that I see others compete in, really they're creating the whole thing. They're doing all of it, which is impressive and amazing. I just don't qualify into that form of cosplay, so obviously I wouldn't do that. New work. How is your health going, my dear? Well, skin is a little bit of up and down, right? Anxiety has been a little bit better. It's crazy what happens when you cut off toxic people. Breathing has been pretty normal too. So, hopefully my skin will stop kicking me and making my pain so bad. But overall, it's not too bad. Vicky, my lovely friend Vicky, do you feel like less stressful once you cut people off? I do. Yes and no. Yes, like as I just said, like my anxiety is much better with people cut off and not living in that drama. I have really, in the beginning of kind of, you know, being distance from some of my family, I felt guilty, like maybe I should give another try, even though I have given like a million tries, you know, a million chances, but I still felt that like guilt, like I should be doing something to fix it, because I am very much a person that tries to fix the problems, solve the problems, get rid of the drama for people, go be the go-between. I do that. So, but the guilt is kind of fading because since I made the decision to be like no contact and, you know, distance myself, there's already been like more actions that have happened that have like proved my point. Like really putting my heart and soul into my thoughts and telling them how I was hurt and the things that just I couldn't do anymore. And there was no hearing my hurt or my discomfort. I was just immediately called a liar. So that kind of validates that maybe it was a good decision. So I'm getting there. I am getting there, but when there's peaceful days without that drama trying, and I don't have those massive panic attacks, those are some of my worst panic attacks where I just feel the heat in my chest. Those are glorious days. DS, 5 or 10 year goals. I always feel like a bit of a weirdo with these types of questions because I don't have like the normal goals that people would have, I guess you could say. I mean, obviously, everybody's goals are going to be different, but some of the like basic stair-step goals that you would see in most people's lives like aren't even on my radar. I'm not interested. But some things, generic goals for 5 or 10 years, you know, seeing more new places, whether that be bigger travel trips or even smaller road trips, local trips, seeing more new areas, traveling to little destinations, I think is quite fun and is kind of a positive thing to look forward to. What else? Basic goals. I mean, I feel like a great goal is like trying to save up more, be more successful in my business, you know, things like that work-wise. I always hope to grow my channel and my pages in a positive way. So that's always a goal, month to month, year to year, to continue to grow those pages. So those are like the goals that really come to mind. Yeah, can't really think of anything besides that. And then I of course have like the smaller little goals that I set for each year. Alright, lovely. Those are the last of my questions. I did want to say also kind of a update thing. I did update and add new tiers to Patreon. Kind of took a little bit of feedback from some current patrons and just some different things that I've been thinking about doing for a couple years now. And so there's going to be more exclusive content on Patreon and then some new tiers added there for anyone that is interested in that. What else? Like I said, I am working on Roleplay Month. Roleplay Month will start April 1st. I think the goal right now is 16 videos next month. We'll see. And I have them all set and things ordered and whatnot for all of that. So I do hope you enjoyed this Coffee with Castle update and Q&A. I hope you have a restful evening, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, lovelies.